man, so Hamza Chimaev had came out and did an interview and talked about how he wants DDP for the middleweight championship of the world at UFC 300. We all know this because he actually tweeted it during the fight with Sean Strickland and DDP at UFC 297. And now he's also talking about how Dana White had promised him a middleweight title fight. And I do kind of remember that because I remember that whole fight with Kamaru Usman and himself in Abu Dhabi back in October, that I remember hearing something about a number one contender fight. Now, that could be just something that they were saying. I can't remember exactly if that was what Dana White said. We all know that if Dana White says it, then more likely it is true in some occasions. We all know that in some occasions. But with that being said, it really makes me wonder if even Hamza Chimaev should get a shot right now. You know, I know that Kamaru Usman fight wasn't necessarily the fight that he was supposed to have. You know, he was originally supposed to fight Paulo Costa, but I can't remember exactly. But Paulo Costa had to pull out of that fight, and on 10 days' notice, Kamaru Usman stepped up to the plate. Now, Kamaru Usman is not your natural middleweight. He was the former welterweight champion of the world, and of course, on 10 days' notice, how much can you really prepare for? And with that being said, Hamza Chimaev didn't necessarily look like the greatest. You know, I get it, different styles, different opponents, what have you, but Hamza Chimaev actually had a full training camp where Kamaru Usman didn't. So even then, I feel like if that was a 5-round fight, I do feel like Hamza Chimaev would have lost that. Just like that Gilbert Burns fight back in, I can't remember exactly the time, I think it was 2019. Maybe sooner around that time frame. He had a great fight with Gilbert Burns, and I feel like during the ending of that fight, and the ending of the third round, he was getting pieced up just a little bit. And if that fight went another 2 rounds, it could have ended very badly for him. But we all know that Hamza Chimaev was making weight at welterweight, and unfortunately, we all know what happened with him and Nate Diaz. He did not make weight. He ended up fighting Kevin Holland on the another short notice fight. Steamrolled over him, but still, nonetheless, another short notice fight, and moved up to middleweight. That Kamaru Usman was supposed to be his middleweight debut against Paulo Costa. Did not happen. So now he's asking for a middleweight title shot. Again, back to what I said, majority of his fights, of his greatest wins, are against welterweights, and he's had only a couple of contender fights in the middleweight division. Not even top echelon guys, not the top 10 guys, really. He's fought in some good guys, but nothing really in that good caliber, is what I'm trying to say. So again, guys, does he deserve a shot? I really don't know. I really don't think so. Personally, I would love for him to be in a very competitive fight with someone like a Robert Whitaker, or maybe he could get that rematch with Paulo Costa. Or not rematch, but the match again with Paulo Costa. And I would like it to be a 5-rounder, because we have not seen this guy in any 5 rounds. You know, I mean, I know they did it with Sean O'Malley. You know, Sean O'Malley got a 5-round fight with Aljamain Sterling, where he never really was in a 5-round fight. So, hey, you know, more power to him. But I would love to see Hamza in a 5-round fight, where we can see how good is he in the 4th and 5th round. Now, I understand with DDP and Sean Strickland, those are 2 very different fighters. And it would be a very competitive fight with DDP for sure. But still, I feel like Hamza Chimaev has a little bit more work to do. I feel like he should have at least one more fight against an actual middleweight. And if someone cannot make that middleweight, like if, for example, if Robert Whitaker gets that fight with him and he cannot make it, I would hope another middleweight steps up to the plate. I do not want to see this guy fight welterweights no more. If he's going to stay in middleweight, I want to see him fight middleweight. I want to see him against Paulo Costa. I want to see him against Marvin Vettori, or a Jerry Cannonier, or again, Robert Whitaker. You know, one of these guys, one of these dangerous opponents that we have up in there in the top 5, top 10 guys. And that would definitely be really, really good. Really great for Hamza Chimaev. Really good testing for him on his skills, and we'll see where exactly he is at. I do believe he can hold his own in the top 5 for sure. I'm not saying that he couldn't. I'm not saying that he cannot win in the top 5 for sure. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I really do feel like he could. But it just would be a lot better to see it instead of us thinking it. So that's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Khamzat Chimaev and his whole wanting a middleweight title shot and Dana White promising him a middleweight title shot, what have you. Just let me know in the comments what do you think about Khamzat and who he should fight next, whether it be the title DDP or whether it be a contender in the middleweight division. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.